Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Micks Mowers. Got a little Riley boy here. How you doing, you okay?
It might be a big drum.
Say again. I'm going to get he wants a drum for his birthday. It ain't happening. Anyway, today we're going to take a little look at this Suffolk Super Punch dual drive cylinder mower. Only because I've got nothing else really in that is pressing to be fixed, so I thought I'd have a little go at this. This is a bit of a project for me. I've not worked on this style of engine before. It's completely new to me, but we'll have a little look at it. At the moment, all I've done is put a new spark plug in, tried to pull it, and it won't start, no spark. That's as far as I am. It's got compression on it, all that sort of good stuff. It was given to me free of charge off of a fella who said, yeah, come pick it up for nothing, and away you go. And he said he did have it running, or it was running last year, so we shall see. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty and let's check out this Suffolk Super Punch. Right, here it is, Suffolk Super Punch. Let's get rid of the grass box, we don't need that on there whilst we're working on it. Let's get rid of that. We've got a bit of chalk or something come in there. Right, okay. So, first thing I'm going to do, as I say, it all pulls over, no problem. I have checked the pull cord, that's fine. However, there's no spark, and this is activated via a set of points, which is slightly different to what I'm normally used to. Don't normally work on anything this sort of old, especially point-wise, but it was free of charge. So I thought, do you know what, for what it is, let's give it a go. So, in fact, I might use my D-wart on it. My D-wart drill.
Drill, okay.
Instead, it just make this process a bit quicker. So what I want to do is I want to take off. You're going to have to take the pull cord off first because this is going to be all attached to the pulleys. So I'll take the pull cord off first.
Pulleys?
2 seconds, mate. Just going to run some nuts off. I want to try and show as much of this as possible because these don't come up very often, and there are lots of videos on these, but not lots on how to get around certain issues. Lots of people are putting videos up on cold start and all this sort of stuff, and not fired up for a long time, and all that sort of videos. But don't actually show the repair process behind it. Thought that sheared off then. So now removing the fuel tank, and there's 3 bolts that hold the fuel tank on, 3 bolts that hold the pull cord on. Fuel tank should come off now, like so. There's another washer there. Take that fuel pipe off. There goes the old fuel tank. What's that? I don't think that matters. I don't need that.
Okay, Mummy.
You're going to see Mummy? Okay, go on. Where you go? I think Mummy's actually in bed, but you can go and sit indoors and take your banana with you.
Yeah.
There you go. You go and see your Nana then. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, Mum.
Good boy. I'll see you in a bit, mate, yeah? Come back and see me in a little while.
You do.
Yeah. And then we've got 4 bolts here. One here, one here, one over here, and one over here. They've got to be removed also. The good thing is these are all the same size bolts, which is lovely. So that all comes off. Now I might need to change it over to a socket. I don't think I'm going to get a socket right way down in there. No, I'm not. So I'm going to change over to a socket with a bar on. And there's 2 little tiny bolts just down the bottom here. I'm not going to get that either. I might get a spanner on it. Yeah, spanner it is. 12 would do it. So that one comes off down the bottom, and then it's the same the other side. One just here, so it's exactly the same. It's all sort of symmetrical. Whereas one bolt you'll find another on the other side. So that comes off, which is lovely. Take that off, and then we want a nut on the top. It's slightly bigger. probably about a 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch will do. Loosen that one. Loosen that one. Now I'm not sure whether to do a full restoration on this or just try and get it running and sell it as is, maybe with a service, because lots of people like to restore these themselves. I'm going to remove the spark plug out of it as well, so I can remove this pull cord assembly. That's got a brand new NGK B2LM in there, so we'll take that off, and then this whole housing should come off in one go together. That's the theory. It does. Put that in the old grass box as well. And that now leaves us with the flywheel. Let me bring it a bit closer so you can see what's going on. So there's the flywheel. Let me bring it right on in. And I want a Phillips screwdriver, quite a long reach one. And this is where your points are set. It says set points to, oh, it even says on there, cool. 0.18 is what your point should be set to. Little Phillips screwdriver goes in there and undoes that little tiny Phillips screw. Take that off. And then with a little pick or something, it's got a little tiny inspection plate here. There it goes, that comes off. And then somewhere in here, there we are, down here, is your set of points. Let me bring you right in so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. Let me bring it down a smidge and try and get you right in there. And I don't know if you're seeing that. There we are there. There's your set of points just there. There they are, just there. Okay. So hopefully you can see that. Now, the majority of issues that I've come across with these type of machines, and bear in mind this is like an old car, is that the points get furred up over years. And so what you do is you pick up one of these. This is one of Mrs. P's nail file jobbies, and all you want to do is slip that inside there. The gap is too small. You just open it up very slightly with a screwdriver just to open the points up. Tease it open, and then get your emery board and very gently have a little rub. Don't take too much material off. You're just trying to clean up the face of the points. That should be enough there. And you see what's coming off. So then do exactly the same. Open the points up again. Turn it around the other way. And give that a clean. You can snap that emery board off, that dirty piece, and go back in there again. And it just cleans the points up. Now there's a very high possibility that these points actually are done and toasted. But this is just to see if I can get it to spark. So it may be a very short video because I have no spares in for these at all. What I'm now going to do is just shoot a little bit of contact cleaner in there, which is quick drying. Let that evaporate off, and then what we're then going to do is put the spark plug back in, pull cord all back on together, and then we're going to try and see if we can get this spark plug to spark. Right, I've got my feeler gauges. And I want 0.018. So let's go. I've got 0.13, 0.25, 0.018, which is that kitty just there, I think. 0.018, yeah. Just going to slide that in between. It's actually set bang on, to see if I can get a spark out of it. But I very much doubt I can spin it over fast enough to do it. Yes, there's a spark. I saw it spark. I don't know about you guys, but I certainly did. Yeah, there's a spark. It's weak. It is weak, but there is a spark. So, I'm going to clean that HT up as well. So I'll put it on time lapse, put it back together, and we'll see how we get on. So hopefully just a general clean up of points. Might have got this little machine to spark and hopefully to fire. If it fires, there's a high chance it'll run. So onto time lapse, I'll be back in 2 ticks. Right, that's the bulk of the engine put back together. Pull cord on, housing on. I'm going to leave the tank off. Don't need that. And just want to get a bit of sandpaper if I can, just to put in here. This might be a bit too much, I think it is. I only need to have a sliver. And all I want to do is just put that inside here.
I hold it.
I'll do it, mate. Just to give it a bit of a clean up, just to try and make a better contact. Nice and clean. Okay, so let's make a bit of room, Riley boy. Riley's come flying down the garden because Daddy's got a parcel,
I know why.
which is good.
Riley boy.
And we want to put the spark plug back in the hole,
Oh.
like so. And this is how you you turn the engine off, just by bringing this down and shorten the top of the plug out, okay? By touching it. So what we do is I'll clear the decks up. That's all just there for now. You can sit there again in a minute, Riley boy. No worries.
Okay.
Okay.
Oil.
Yeah, that's some oil. Yeah.
Oil.
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 And what we're going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of I'm going to use a contact spray. That's flammable. That'll do. And I'm going to put some in here. I'm going to move you around the other side so that you get a better view of the mower, because I need to go around the other side to pull the pull cord in a minute. So let me just swing you around. Let me put you just about there somewhere.
I'll show right here.
You okay? Let me grab my spark plug socket.
Sorry.
I'm going to take that off, put a bit of spray down there, and we're going to put that on. Try and do it before it evaporates would be good. That's on. Now I see a spark. It's not to say there's going to be one now. That goes on. Right, stand clear, Riley boy. Over here, buddy.
Here.
Let's see what we get.
Let's just go there.
That fired. I don't know about you. I heard that fire. Let's put a bit more juice in it.
Daddy.
I'm actually going to put some carb cleaner in there, I think.
A car?
Carb cleaner, because it tends to be very flammable, but tends to last just a little bit longer. I want to hear it fire.
I hear fire.
But I definitely heard that fire up. I saw a bit of smoke coming out of the old exhaust as well, which is always a lovely sign. Let's put a good lot in there. Let's
See?
put that back in.
Is she watching?
Now, I'm guessing the carburetor is going to need cleaning. Very, very unlikely. This is going to not need a carburetor clean. Right, let's try one more time.
Let's give one more try.
Absolutely brilliant. Fired up. Did you all hear that? I heard it. I'm super impressed and super pleased. What we're going to do next is we're going to go for a carburetor clean. I feel that I just have this feeling I'm not going to be able to run any fuel through here without that carburetor looking clean. The reason I say so is the air filter. Let me take the air filter off for you, just to show you. The air filter, look, see how knackered that is? That's absolutely shot. So we'll take the carburetor off, but I shall show you step by step. As I keep saying, there's not a lot of videos on these to show you how to do it. So all in all, already super impressed. It's actually fired up, which means we have now got a spark on a working engine, and this now should be good to sell. But we need it running is what we need. So I'll take it around the other side. We'll start to have this carburetor off and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and we'll go from there. Okay, so super happy so far. Let's just connect the throttle. That just pulls back and lifts up, and that then removes the little throttle. There's a spring there. Let's get my magnet tray back in. Okay, buddy, see you in a bit. Can't afford to lose no bits and pieces on here. Yeah, see you in a bit, buddy. Loves you too, my little boy. Yeah. Flat-headed screwdriver goes into there. Quite a big one, to be fair. And then we've got a couple of flat-headed screws just here to remove. There's one. And then one the other side. And coming off nice. Can't believe she fired up. Bless her little heart. And we're going to remove these little tiny bolts. There's one. There's two. So that should be the carburetor free, all bar the gasket. There it goes. And then, oh, no need to actually take the throttle off. I could have left that on. And then tip the carburetor around, which way around that way. And off comes the carburetor all in one piece. And there's a carburetor. Let's get it up on a bench, have a look inside it, see what it looks like, and get a bit of a clean. Okay, carburetor time. In comes the old baking tray. And there's our carburetor. Let's make sure you're all in view, which you are. Good, 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 good. Roll the old sleeves up and let's get some gloves on. And let's see what we can't do with this little tiny carburetor. It's a little tiny Zenith carburetor. Tiddy little thing, British made, type 13, looks like TCA2. So last little Zenith carburetor, not seen one before, not worked one on before. This is what I try and do each time, is try and broaden my own experience with these little tiny bits of kit. I'm guessing this is going to be super, super simple, but at the same time, a little bit of a pickle. So I need a flat-headed screwdriver in again, a slightly smaller one this time. Let's try and find one with a decent end on it, might help. Let's use my carburetor one. And there's two screws to remove first, which is this one here, I would say, and this one here, I would say. Let's remove them, because they tend to hold the bowl on by the looks of it. Let's see if they're going to come undone without snapping on me. I don't want anything to shear. Really can't afford for that to happen. So nice and gently, gently catches a monkey. That comes off. Got a little tiny spacer there. That's new. Not seen that before. Okay. And the spacer goes on this side here where the writing is. Another little one just here. Now I'm going to try and leave all the settings where they are if I can. But I'm guessing that some of them are going to want to be changed. You know, taken out and cleaned. All right, careful, careful. I'm not taking one of these apart, so I don't know what's inside it. Let's take that off. Out you come, baby. It's a ferrule size bolt. She's coming. There she is. That's that. Now you'll see them as first time as I'm seeing it. That little tiny needle sits inside there. So a little tiny needle, a couple of jets. Let's take one bit at a time. There's a float. Nothing much in there for me to get at. So that's all one piece. There's a couple of little tiny screw valves today. That's going to have to come out to be cleaned. I'll just blast some stuff through there. That's the choke lever. That's not actually hollow. That's a choke lever. Okay, that's a flap. So choke on is vertical like that, and that's choke off and on, off and on. So just to reiterate, we've got a little tiny float system which sits in the middle like so. That sat a bit lower last time, I'm sure it did. Yeah, it's got to sit right down inside. There's a little tiny hole just inside there, and that's got to sit right down inside that. There it goes, that's better. And when you put it back together, with this little tiny jet here, that's got to sit on there, like so, and that's how it goes back. No, like that. That's it. Just trying to make sure I get it right when I put it back. I don't want to mess this up. Okay, very, very simple little carby. And actually, it looks really clean. There's a bit of gunk in the bottom of that which needs to be cleaned out. What we've got over here, got a little tiny needle jet here. Does that come out? It should do, I would have thought. Yeah, it does. It's up tight, so that's okay. We'll take that one straight out. That comes out, and that's much like the bowl carburetors. That's got a massive hole on it. This carburetor might have run, you know. Either way, it is what it is. If I don't take it apart, I'm never going to learn. I'm not sure if that comes out. Yeah, it does. Okay, that's a little tiny jet in itself. I'm going to take the gasket off. If it had come off, I can't afford to break any of this. And I may need to refer back to the video to put it back together myself, but for you guys it'll be simple, just watch a video. Okay, so that's that. So that needs blowing through. There's two jets need blowing through there. The rest all looks pretty good. That doesn't need adjusting. That's all fine. I've got one here. There's a possibility I could probably do this one coming out. So the one on the top of a carburetor. That looks to me to be like a little needle valve in there, I would say. I might take that one out. So this one I'm going to do all the way up, and it's sat roughly at about 2 o'clock. I'm going to turn it all the way in. That's one turn. That's one turn exactly. So that one's going to come out. And that goes back in one turn. Let me make a little note of that so I don't lose it. So that's all out now. Nothing more to come out of this carburetor, which is good on that side. This side here, we've got this big boy. He can come out. So that's going to be the right way up. Again, that's about 2 o'clock. So all the way in. Another one turn. So that can come all the way out. That's a bigger one out of 2. So if I put on the note small and one big, just so I know what's going on. And that's it. That's the carburetor now fully disassembled. It's going to have a carburetor clean. It's going to have WD-40 air compressed, and then I'm going to put it in the old bath and figure out what sort of clean it goes. About 15-20 minutes each side. Give it a darn good clean. And then I'll come back once it's come out the cleaner, and we'll see what it looks like and reassemble it. Okay, that's now had what did it have, half an hour, 15 minutes each side, and as you can see by the water, absolutely filthy. So let's get it out the old solution. Oh, let that water drain right out. The wind's picking up. I'll get you set up. We'll look at the carburetor and see what it looks like. Right, carburetor's now out the cleaner. Let me get rid of that bit of water. Don't need that in there. There's my carby. First impressions, actually, it's come up really well. There's a little bit of corrosion on there, but you know, come on, it's older than me, and I've got a bit of corrosion on me. So I've done it too bad. There's a bit of this stuff here is paint flaking off of where someone has painted the engine and not took the carburetor off. So I'll try and get rid of that where I can. Maybe just a toothbrush might help take that off. Don't really want it on there because it could go inside the carburetor and cause me some issues. Not too shabby. Okay, so I'll try and get you guys in as close as I can, so you're around the other side. First things first is to hook up this little tiny throttle cable. It just sits in there like so. We can then put the little bolts onto here, and these were the little tiny flat-headed bolts that go on. One in there. I just want to start it off just so it bites, so I don't drop the carburetor, because it isn't a clean state. If I try and push that all the way through, if I may, there it is, onto there. This is no easy thing. I'm trying to get you guys in as close as I can without knocking people. Oh, that started. I can then get the second one in, which is your side. Exactly the same. I think that's got it. Yeah, it has. And then we just nip them ones up. I'll start your side. Bit of resistance, so that's bitten. And then the same the other side. Now I have checked the oil, but I should show you in a minute. The oil is a little bit low. It's not too bad. That's on. Next we need to hook up the throttle. So let me bring the throttle down to maximum. That throttle is not working as well as perhaps it could do. I think it wants a bit of a clean. And I had a big spring on there. Here's a spring. And the spring goes over the throttle cable. And you have to compress the spring so that the little tiny ball just here goes over this tab. So push the cable through and put the spring on at the same time. Once the spring's on, you're halfway home. That's it. Push the cable all the way through and compress that spring up. And once you have the spring compressed, which is very fiddly, you can then push the cable over the little tiny bracket. It is really fiddly, and my hands are bigger than a giraffe's. If that doesn't make any sense at all, but I know what I'm trying to say. My hands are too big for this task. I was getting caught up on that little tiny plate. That's it, right, here we go. I pull it all the way back and then pull the bracket back at the same time and hook it over. That's a bit of a mission. But that's now in place, and that should now operate the throttle control, which it does. That's good. So that's that. Choke is on when it's down and off when it's up. Air filter next. Let me bring it back round for the air filter. Okay, air filter is here. Very simple design. Little Phillips screwdriver in there, a screw in there, which holds the housing. Take that out. That all comes out, and here is the little tiny. I'll try and pick it out. It's just going to fall apart in my hands. Literally, it's done. Absolutely done. So that's no good. But what I have got over here is a bit of an SV150 filter, which goes in like so. I need to put a hole in it right in the centre, which would be, yeah, literally right in the centre. Push a hole through, and then that should then find its way through the hole I've just made, like so, and then get the little cover. That one sits on a little tiny Phillips screw. I think it's so small. Wind them in. Not too tight because it is plastic. So air filter in there. That then goes onto the base of the carburetor, which is just here, and can be tightened up at a later date, but that's on. Not sure what way around it should go. I'm guessing that way around. We shall see. So that's that. I now need to get the tank in and look at the tank, see what that looks like, and double check it's not all rusty inside before we go any further. Right, I've got the tank. Here it is. Now I'm hoping that this is not a cork version, because they do have a tendency to fail. Let's have a look inside here. It smells absolutely rancid. There's not a lot of rust in there. It looks pretty good for what it is. So hopefully that'll do the job. Just want to put a little bit of fuel in first, just to give that a little bit of a happy birthday. And I should literally just throw that out. But the test is to give it a swirl first, and then I want to see if that will actually, that tap actually works or not. That's just the idea. It's got an old tub in. So at the moment, no leaks, which is good. We now take out the bung, like so. That should release fuel, which is not at the moment. There it goes. Here is the fuel. There it goes. Good. Shut it off. Perfect. Okay, so that one. So I'm just going to run that tank out. Let that drain. And I'll come back to you, and then we're going to refit the tank back onto this engine. Okay, tank's been swilled. There she is. Pretty little thing. We're going to hook up the petrol to the carburetor over this side. That just literally pushes straight on. It could benefit from a new bit of hose, but as I say, I don't want to invest anything in this little machine until I know it's a runner. And we've got some little tiny 10 mils to put on, or they're 7/16 I think they are. 7/16 because we're working in old money, not new. There's 3 of these, one on the left, one on the right, and then one at the top over the far side behind the tank. So that one goes in there. This will be a bit of a fiddly one because it's right behind that fuel line, which I may have to take back off again. So I'm not sure whether the drive works or anything yet. This is literally just a trying to get the old girl to fire and trying to get it to run. So there's those 2 bolts there, and I've got one more to put on, which is over the far top side of a tank, right up here next to the spark plug. Just there. I'm going to wind that up so that that's on. So what we've done so far: new air filter, tank flush, carburetor clean, gap the points, or gap points were gapped correctly, clean the points and what have you. And that's about it. So invested nothing so far in the actual machine itself. So come on the other side, we'll check the oil out and we'll go from there. Okay, on these little tiny little engines, you've got your oil dipstick filler here, and around the back there's a little tiny engine plug drain. So very simple, you can undo it via the back. The bolt is self-explanatory. It's around the back there, a big square bolt, you can't miss it. You undo that, tip the engine on its bum and drain the oil out. Put it back in when you're done. And then this has got a big split pin that goes through here, which has been converted into a dipstick reader. Take that out. Get a rag. 2 readings, minimum, maximum. Oh, sorry, minimum, maximum. So maximum is up the top. Let's put him back in and just see what the old oil is doing. I'm pretty sure it was low-ish. So put that in there. Do it up, hand tight, back it back off again. Now I can't find a date on this engine anywhere, so if anyone knows where the date is on these engines, can you please let me know. I can't find one, and it is just on the minimum, so I need to put some oil in here, which I should do before we take it outside. Can't find the date anywhere on here. There's a plaque around the other side, it's been painted over. I have sanded it down, nothing on there either. So if you can find out, let me know. I have some ID numbers around the side of the engine, which may better help, but I'd like to know what year it is before we continue. So that's that. Let me put some oil in, put some petrol in. I'll lower the tail down because I'm not lifting it, take it outside, and we'll go for a fire up and see if we can't get this little old girl to run. I'm not sure how long it's going to run for. I don't want to push it initially, just want to try and get it to tick over, so I can then see what the drive is doing, see what all that sort of stuff is, what that's up to. So give us 2 ticks, oil and petrol, and meet you outside. Right, I've got to put my microphone on because it's very windy outside and I'm losing light, so bear with. Let's bring it down and let's see what happens. Fuel. Choke is that way. Right, hold on to your hats. Out, put a bit more fuel down. Yeah, that's flooding. Try it again. belive system. There it is there. Well, let's try it with a drive, see what happens. To keep disconnecting it when you want to take the drive off. There it goes. What a lovely little sound. That's a cracking little engine. Winner, chicken dinner. Super happy about little Suffolk Super Punch. I didn't think it was going to run as well as it did, let alone run. It cut out first off, but I think you would after not being run for a little while. The drive all works and the cut all works as well. I've been up and down the garden just once with it. I don't want to go too mad because it is cutting very, very short. But you know what, it's not a bad little machine for what it is. So I'm in two minds. Do I do a full restoration, or do I just out it once I give it a service, out it as it is, and let somebody else enjoy doing that? Because I think there's two markets, isn't there? There's one who just someone wants to use it themselves, and there's one who wants to restore it and use it for themselves and enjoy it. So what I don't want to happen is for someone to pick this up and just run it into the ground and break it and just not fully respect what it is, and you know, and to fully respect the machine. So I've got a feeling I want to just do it up so it's running nicely, and then out it as it is, and let somebody else, maybe some old boy just, or even some young lad, just paint it up and do what they want to do with it, and it become their work of art. They've got an engine that runs really sweet and ticks over beautifully. So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. So anyway, if this is the first time I'm watching Micks Mowers, don't forget to hit the old subscribe button and whack the old bell. Set your notifications to all, and that will give you a notification to tell you that I've released another video, or I'm in fact on my Saturday night weekly live stream. My Amazon wish list, speaking of which, I have a parcel just turned up from the old post, which is cool, and I haven't ordered anything. So let's see what's inside the old box. It says Micks Mowers on it, which means it has come from my Amazon wish list. It's always nice to receive a present. Have a little look. Oh my God, you're joking me. A box that big for that. That's hideous. Okay, so someone has sent me some air connector plugs, which are on my wish list, and they're the ones I'm after, which fit my machine. There's an assortment there, because I have ordered one of those air hammers that I sent to Martin Butler the other week to take flywheels off. I've ordered one of them. Just want to show my address if I haven't. See if there's a note in there. There's not always a note with these things. No, there's not always a note. Not seeing it. Okay, so whoever it was who sent me the box of air compressor plug kits, thank you very much. I fully appreciate it. I really do. And I do need bits and pieces, and it all costs money. So if you want to check out my Amazon wish list, it's down in the comment section or in my description page. It's in there somewhere as well. Feel free to hit the old link and buy me or Rider Boy a little gift for our channel. It'd be much appreciated. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Micks Mowers on the Suffolk Super Punch. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you really did, because it should be quite informative. I've been learning as I went along with that one as well, so it's not something that I'm familiar with. But hey ho, she runs like an absolute Trojan. So thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, people, more importantly, take her easy.